Hello and welcome back to a brand new video, and today again another unplanned video. But sometimes the unplanned ones are the best ones, aren't they? Let me just shut that door for a moment. Right, so what I'm doing is I've taken off the front grille, so we've got the grille off, and I've got quite a lot of bad stone chips. The issue I've got is I've got to get the windscreen out because I've got a crack in the windscreen and it needs replacing. So I've also got tiny little bits of rust around the windscreen. So before I actually go ahead and rip the windscreen out and then repair all the rust patches, I wanted to practice. So that's why I've got this bit out first, so I can practice on this. What I did do, I've gone to a place called Automotive Paint Supplies. So they're based down here locally in Southampton. So I went down there, we've got some high build primer, I've got some etch primer. What else have I got? I've got some colour coded paint, so you can see that, that's the LB3Y. And we've got some lacquer as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and practice on this first piece. All prepped up, all ready for etch primer. So the etch primer, I'm only going to use etch primer on the places like there where there's bare metal. There's bare metal along some of these bits along here. This bit here, there's no bare metal at all, so I don't really need to etch primer that bit. I will just put the high build primer on there. So I'm going to go shake this up for about half hour and we'll give it a go and I'll come back to you. But yeah, no, I was actually quite lucky. There wasn't really any rust around here. This patch here, there was quite a lot of rust. So I've got it all the way back to bare metal, and it will actually be a good test to see whether, now it's back to bare metal, no moisture on there at all, no rust at all there. Some etch primer, and it shouldn't rust again. Fingers crossed. Well, that's the etch primer on. Done 2 coats, very light dusting to start off with, and then a little bit thicker on the second coat, but you can still see it's only thin. Like I said, I didn't need to put any there. It was just where there was bare metal, like a little bit on the edge here, cut little bits along here, in there. There was a bit there that was bare metal, a bit on the edge. So all the bare metal is now covered. Apparently I can wait half hour and then this is ready to prime. So ready to rub down and sanded for the next layer. So this is what I'm using, monofill, really good really good quality, great products. You'll find that there's no instructions on it really, and if you actually want the instructions, you have to go online onto their website. But yeah, I went on there, got the instructions, because you want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. So the next thing, wait half hour, I can rub it back, sand it down. I'm not worried about sanding down over this because I'm going to be putting some high build primer on top of this, so this is fine as it is, no sanding down at all. And then high build primer, and the high build primer I got is white because underneath here it is actually a white primer. And apparently the white primer makes your colour a little bit brighter. So I'm using a white primer. And again, I'm not going to put too much on this. And this one, it does actually have instructions on here. So again, really good products to use. Really impressed with them. So yeah, that's Automotive Paint Supplies. So you've got one in Newbury, one in Southampton, and one in Aldershot. Yeah, really good. Great service as well. Excellent. Well, I will actually leave links for them. Their website is a bit hectic. Basically, if you know what you want, the website's fine. If you don't know what you want, it's a bit so many products, so much to choose from, so many supplies, everything. You can get everything from that place. Everything you need to spray. So we've just used the high build primer and that's come out really well. Just gone over it with one well, I'd say one light coat, but it's actually covered it really well. I will put another coat on in about 10 minutes once it's dried off a little bit, and then we can leave it half hour and it's ready to sand back, ready for top coat. So that is the second coat of the high build primer, and it's come out really well. I didn't sand down between coats, I just put one coat straight over the other, and I don't know how well you're going to pick it up, but there's still like that stone chip there that I didn't get out. I left to see how well the high build primer is, and it's actually filled that in really well. I mean, one more coat and that'd probably disappear altogether. As long as the main faces are all right and that bottom edge, that's all that really matters, which is a great chance for me to practice blending and a bit of a soft edge, because I have no idea what I'm doing, so just winging it. But really happy with that. So I'm going to leave it half hour to dry off, and then just going to go over with some, I don't know, probably some 600 grit or something, 800 grit, and then we can go on with the base coat, which is Colorado Red LB3Y. So there you go, I've just put one light coat on. Yes, it is light, you can see it is light. But yeah, I cut it all back, used 800 wet and dry, but done it dry. Blocked it all off so it's nice and flat. And we just put over a nice little thin coat. And that's the first coat. Well, I say first coat, I put a very light dusting on. I've just gone over again with a thicker coat, and then again, so it's had 3 coats on there now, and it's nice and thick. Happy days. And that little, I don't know if you can see it now, the little stone chip, barely see that, so yeah, happy days. Not really worried about that. But as for blending goes, I think it's going to turn out all right. Wow, it was all going so well. Note to self, never try moving it or touching it or doing anything when it's just been painted. I accidentally dropped some masking tape and it's put a horrible little scratch in it. So what I've done is I've just filled it up with some more paint, and then when it dries tomorrow I'm going to have to sand that bit down. You have to sand it down and then spray it again, just that little section. That's annoying. Oh, it's always one thing, isn't it? Well, it's getting late now anyway, so I'm not going to do any more this evening. Tomorrow I want to crack on with it, but I'm also off around Matt's because we're going to finish up the video on his white T4, so you'll probably seen that by now. Yeah, it's a very nice T4, but that is really bugging me. Oh yeah, it shows up loads from this angle, you see it. It's not very big, but it's enough to notice, although I did have a look and the grill comes out to about here, so you might just see it. Yeah, I've got to get rid of it, otherwise that would really bug me. Yeah, another day. Got a lovely shine on that now, looking really good. So we had 3 coats of the base coat, and I've just gone over 3 medium coats of lacquer, you know, medium wetness, so it wasn't really wet, didn't put it on too dry, just 3 medium coats. There is some orange peel on there, and I will address that before I put the middle panel back in. All I'm going to do is bit 2,500 sandpaper, so I've got some of this stuff here, 2,500 grit, wet and dry it, and then some rubbing compound, polish it all up, and that'd be good to go. But it does say to leave this for 24 hours to harden, so I'm going to give it, well, probably a couple of days actually to harden up, and then I'll cut it back, which means I can carry on with the next panel. But that little cock up that I had around here somewhere, I don't know where it was, but it's gone now. Covered up really well. All I've done was sanded it down using one of these contour sanding sponges. So I used the ultra fine one and just, yeah, sanded down that little area, and then just 3 coats. Yeah, that's come up really well. So chuff with that. Although what I could actually do is go get that middle plastic bit and clean it up, get it all ready. So here's the other panel from the front. I've gone ahead and removed the plastic bit in the centre. Absolutely minging it is, so that all needs a good clean. But you can see that, yeah, it's just clear lacquer. And the reason why it's peeled across all the way along like that is obviously it's being resprayed and not blended in properly. But I don't know how well it's going to pick up, but you can see these old stone chips, someone's previously just lacquered over them. And it's that the whole front panel's like it. Obviously I've got quite a few large stone chips as well. And some scratches and everything else. So I have to do this panel as well as soon as I finish the other one. And then once I got these 2 panels on, I don't know whether to do the bumper next or the windscreen, because the bumper needs doing, but also I need to get the windscreen out because this is what I'm practicing for, the windscreen. And there's that piece all lacquered up. It's looking really good. Same process as I've done for the other grill. Yeah, it needs cutting back. There's a bit of orange peel on there. And over here you can see where it's gone on a little bit thick and we've got a bit of a run there. But apart from that, yeah, that'll polish up nicely. Right, well, that's that front grille, that top section, all sprayed up, looking really good. Really impressed with that. I've cleaned all the grill up as well. I know it's upside down, but I've still got the TDI badge to put back in. I was going to leave it without the TDI badge, but you can see where it just stands out. You can notice that. I know it's upside down. Let me just put this around the right way. But yeah, it just looks really terrible where that badge used to be. So rather than, oh, well, I wanted to keep it without the badge, but it looks like I'm going to have to put the TDI badge back on. Right, so that's that done. And now if we go around, I've removed the front bumper because, well, I thought, well, while I've got the grill off, it's easier to get the bumper off now so we can get some practice on, more practice. All this lacquer peel to be sorted out. There's loads of little stone chips, not really too worried about them. Around here, it's all damaged. Again, some scuffs up here. And then there's this damage here from when I first bought the van. So I'm not too sure. That's the other side of it. It's like we've got a gouge. I don't know how that's happened. Must have had a little hit. Well, must have been when it scuffed here. The foam that's on the inside must have caused that crease. I mean, it doesn't stick out much, so I don't know whether I can get away with just sanding it flat. And hopefully it doesn't go through. I mean, if it does go through, I'm just going to have to maybe put a little bit of filler on there or something. So that's the bumper. And up here, we've got the other grille. This piece does need cutting back. The other top half of the grille, that's all been cut back already to go straight on. This is a fresh coat of lacquer on here, so yeah, well, I say fresh coat of lacquer, it's all been primed, repainted, flattened down, so it is perfectly flat, because I did notice there was a previous repair job over here. You could see different colours where it had been previously sprayed and repaired. But yeah, I've gone through, made sure, because it looked flat until you actually sort of like started taking off all the, because this was all covered in orange peel, and I've never done anything about it since I bought the van. Always had orange peel on there. Yeah, and that was why, because the orange peel was hiding the ripples in the panel work. But yeah, we've got rid of all those ripples now, and it's perfectly flat everywhere, so really happy with that. All this just to get practice to do the bonnet. Yeah, I say all this practice to do the bonnet, I mean for around the windscreen, but I'm not too sure about this. We'll take that off, clean that up, sand that down, and we'll go from there, I guess. So that's all been filled up now. So I'm quite thick up there, and then it thins out just there, because that's where the high point was. And then we try and blend that in, but it's looking a lot better than what it was before. Really happy with that. So while that's drying, I've got this to carry on with. I don't know how well you can see. I'm just rubbing back, getting rid of the orange peel. And what I did notice is I've actually got a spray gun in there. And I've got more spray guns down here somewhere. I don't know, in there's a couple of them. That's all coming together well though. I went over this with some 1200 grit. That's what I've done so far, and then I'm going to go over with some 2000, and then 2500, and then some cutting compound. That'll sort that right out. And then by the time I've done all of that, this should be dry. I mean, it's all prepped up now, everywhere else is fine. And I'm not going completely mad on it. You can see here, all those stone chips. I haven't really bothered about getting them out. Right, so I've prepped all that up. It's all looking good. I'm really happy with how that's come out. I mean, it's probably not perfect, but it's going to be better than what it was. Harry's out there washing the car. But here's that front panel. This side's been polished up. Hello. This side hasn't, so you can see where it's polished. Looks really good. But yeah, Harry's doing his video on TikTok. So TikTok, I'll leave that down below where you can watch his TikTok videos. But also, he said he's not going to be doing it for YouTube because he said he's not going to be doing any videos for YouTube because no one subscribed to him. So go subscribe to Harry and he'll actually upload a video, because it's worth uploading to him, because he's actually going to be doing, it needs a dual mass flywheel, doesn't it? What else does it need? New clutch, yeah, clutch dual mass flywheel, which you're going to be doing yourself. So this is why you should actually, right now, go subscribe to Harry. There'll be a link up, like, up there maybe, I think is that corner? I don't know, but there'll be a link. It might be that one. I might be wrong. Go subscribe. And then get him to upload. And that's his first car. Right, step back. Yeah, so that's his first car, right? And it's the 1.9 TDI, so that's got the PD 130 dump in it, which a lot of people I know put in their T4s. So, yeah, subscribe to Harry. Go do it. Because he doesn't feel loved. Go give him some love. He's filming. Quick, run away, run away, run away. Remember, check out Harry's YouTube channel. His car looks absolutely amazing now. It's so shiny. Proper. So yeah, I'm going to keep track of how much paint I've used, because up here I've got my lacquer, then we've got my primers, and then we've got my base coat. Base coat, plenty of base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of everything that I've used so far. So doing the panels that I've done so far, so obviously this one here and the one that's in the conservatory already painted up. To do that, I've used 2 cans of base, 2 cans of high build primer, and 1 can of lacquer. So I've got all of this to do the bumper, the bonnet, and then all the little spot repairs, all the lacquer peel. So I'm probably going to need more lacquer. Yeah, right. In a bit. Well, I've no idea what I've filmed so far. We've just got loads of little random clips. I've been filming bits as we've been going, so I don't know where we're up to, because I haven't even started editing. And this has taken me, well, I took the bumper off on Sunday. It's now Friday, and I've only been getting on with it a few hours in the evening. Yeah, I had a few repairs, had a few repairs that needed to be sorted out. So we've done that. It's all been primered down, rubbed back. It's not perfect, but I haven't really bothered too much about trying to get all the stone chips out. I mean, yeah, there's still, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's got to be better than what it was before, right? So what I'm going to do now, bit of panel wipe, and then we'll put on some base coat. Well, that's the first coat of the base coat on. Trying to spray outside with the wind, because it is quite windy today, waiting for it to stop, well, waiting for the wind to calm down a little bit, and then you can see, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up very well, but in places it's darker than others, and that's because you're always fighting the wind, moving it backwards and forwards. Yeah, spraying outside is not fun. good job. I got about 5 cans, so plenty of cans to go on. But so far I've used 1 can on the bumper, so maybe another can and a half, I reckon. 2 cans, maybe another 2 cans. The next coat, that was, I'd say it was quite a light dusting, but it's gone on quite well. But you can definitely see where it's darker in places, and what we need to do is get it so it's all the same colour and you can't see any of the white coming through. So yeah, a good couple of coats on there and that'd be good. Doesn't look too bad. I've used nearly 3 cans, so yeah, this is my 3rd can already and it's almost empty. Yeah, so I'm going to be, on the next coat I will start with a fresh can, and then we'll use another can in a bit. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4 cans to spray the bumper. Oh look, all this mess is all created because of me, because I've had to clear the garage out to try and do some painting. But, oh, I nearly fell over then. Oh, the weather, it's not only really windy, it just started spitting. I don't know if you can see those little droplets of water there, but it did start spitting. So, and the paint was touch dry, so I've brought it in. I'm not going to try and wipe all the water off yet. Just going to leave it, give it 10 minutes or so. Well, hopefully when it's not spitting at all and it clears up a little bit, hopefully I can then I'm gonna have to panel wipe it again and then put on the final coat, and then it'll be time for lacquer. Yay! And put it back on the van. Whee! Yeah, I just want to get it done now. This is long. She wants to come out and I told her she's not allowed because the bumper's here now. So she's sulking. I'm gonna go get a cup of tea. Right, well I got it back out. I put a 3rd coat on there and it's come up really well. It's looking good. So ready for some lacquer. I'm just gonna give it 20 minutes or so to harden a little bit. And then, yeah, going to hit it with the lacquer, which I've got in a box all the way down here. So that's what we've used so far. On the bumper, I've used 2 cans of High Build Primer Plus. I've used 4 cans of colour. And probably I'll use 1 can of lacquer, I expect. Lacquer goes quite far. So I've got my lacquer here. Can you actually see me? Oh yeah, there we go. That's only 2 coats of lacquer on there. There is orange peel. It's not perfect. I did say, you know, it wasn't going to be perfect because I haven't got rid of any of the stone chips. But from here, and we're only a metre out, so not far at all, you can barely reckon, well, you can't even notice half the imperfections. I've got overspray along the top bits, but I'm not too worried about the little bits of overspray. That can come off later. But The reason why I got overspray is because I didn't really want to be trying to clean out and polish up that little gap in there. So after lacquering everything, I just put one final coat in there, and obviously the wind's blowing that way, so that's why we've got the overspray is going over around that way, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's all lacquered up. There's 2 coats on there. Oh yeah, sorry, tripping over the watering can. There's 2 coats on there. What I might do, I don't know whether it's worth putting in that third. I was thinking about putting a third one on and then cutting it all back and making it look really good, but then if I'd done that, all these little tiny stone chips that you can't really see are then going to stand out. So there has been imperfections. You know, I had a fly land up here. There's a little bit of whatever that is that's blown in. So it's not going to be perfect because we're outside, but it does look really good. And if you want to know what that noise is in the background, the brothers come round, sort the T5 out, getting it clean. Right, let's get away from there because that's quite noisy. And the plan of action is to get this fitted. It does say wait 12 hours for assembly. The time now is 2:10. So yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning I can come out here and fit it to the car, fit it to the van. But that ain't going to be happening. So first thing in the morning, I'm just going to install it as it is. Not really worried about the overspray or how the panels look at the moment. I'm just going to let them harden off. So I'll give it a while before I start polishing them down and getting them looking spot on. I do have some G3 cutting compound, some rubbing compound. Right, well, I'm going to wrap it up for now, and I'll see you in the morning when it's all back together and we'll have a look at the van.